What's different about immersion cooling is that we stop that thermal event at the cell. So battery cell, for whatever reason, it overheats, goes into thermal runaway, flames. We stop it right there. And so we don't go to flame. The energy that's being released gets absorbed by our fluid, and that particular module now is encapsulated and it's stopped right there. So everyone else's solution typically goes to where you lose the whole module. One battery cell goes, all the cells go, and then you lose the whole container. So that's the difference. We take a problem that's small and we keep it small at that time.
Are you speeding the energy transition? Here at the Clean Power Hour, our host Tim Montague bring you the best in solar, batteries, and clean technologies every week. Want to go deeper into decarbonization? We do too. We're here to help you understand and command the commercial, residential, and utility solar, wind, and storage industries. So let's get to it. Together we can speed the energy transition.
The Clean Power Hour is brought to you by CPS America, maker of North America's #1 three-phase string inverter, with over 10 gigawatts shipped in the U.S. The CPS product lineup includes string inverters ranging from 25 kW to 350 kW. Their flagship inverter, the CPS 350 kW, is designed to work with solar plants ranging from 2 megawatts to 2 gigawatts. CPS is the world's most bankable inverter brand and is America's #1 choice for solar plants, now offering solutions for commercial, utility, ESS, and balance of system requirements. Go to chintpowersystems.com or call 855-584-7168 to find out more. Hey guys, are you a residential solar installer doing light commercial but wanting to scale into large C&I solar? I'm Tim Montague. I've developed over 150 megawatts of commercial solar, and I've solved the problem that you're having. You don't know what tools and technologies you need in order to successfully close 100 kW to megawatt scale projects. I've developed a commercial solar accelerator to help installers exactly like you. Just go to cleanpowerhour.com, click on strategy, and book a call today. It's totally free with no obligation. Thanks for being a listener. I really appreciate you listening to the pod. And I'm Tim Montague. Let's grow solar and storage. Go to Clean Power Hour and click strategy today. Thanks so much. Today on the Clean Power Hour, fire safety and battery storage. Battery storage is becoming increasingly important in the solar and storage industry. But battery fires are in the news, and they make people, AHJs, residents, commercial facility owners, nervous. My guest today is Matt Ward. He is the president of Etica AG, a battery technology manufacturer that has developed a very unique immersion technology that greatly reduces or completely prevents battery fires. Welcome to the show, Matt.
Hi, Tim.
Really great to have you. So what is Etica AG, and why did you jump ship from the microgrid space to join Etica?
Sure. Etica AG, we're a manufacturer of immersion cooled batteries it's using lithium technology, and it's non-flammable. The Etica AG name came from the two joint venture partners, Etica Battery out of Taiwan and then AGI out of Pennsylvania.
And I understand the battery part, but what is AGI?
AGI, been around 20 plus years. I've been a distributor of computer components and such to government, school systems, the Department of Defense, and doing different hardware solutions for the military.
Okay. And so Etica AG is doing two things, I understand. You're going to market with battery solutions. This is a full wrap solution for C&I and utility scale batteries, and we're going to talk about that. But you're also building you're fundraising to build a factory in the U.S. to manufacture soup to nuts, like battery cells to containers.
Battery cells we don't make. We're agnostic on the battery cells.
Okay.
Right now, we're using prismatic LFPs, and then also we can do NMC technology. But from there, we build the modules, assemble the systems, do the containers, and have a full solution for utility, C&I, and residential.
And what is the secret sauce? What is this cooling technology that Etica has developed?
Our liquid shield technology, it's a dielectric oil. It's environmentally friendly, it's non-toxic and such, but it has the unique properties to work fantastic with battery cells. It can absorb that heat and keep the batteries, I call them, keep the batteries friendly so that they have the optimum operating temperatures for these things to run. It's something where not just that, but also for the issue with fire safety, it has properties that really go right to the problem of battery cells and thermal runaway.
In the U.S., we have UL certification 9540 and 9540A. I understand that you've achieved 9540 certification, which is kind of a ground floor. Tell us about how hard is it to achieve 9540, and what should developers know about Etica that, is different other than this immersion technology? Like, why is this? I think you said in the pre-interview that this is the next generation of battery technology. Why is this so important?
Absolutely. Well, there's a lot of different components to that. 9540, it is a very strict requirement, very high level of quality that has to get to that. And for us, interesting story. So we're 9540 approved, but the certification process has been stalled because of the 9540A testing. And as you know, with that testing, that's where the test, you have to burn the batteries so that you can see the type of gases that come off. You can look at the flume and such like that. Well, for our immersion cooling technology, the problem is that they weren't able to get the battery to burn. So in doing so, we can't do the test. Can't do the test, you can't get the certification. So that has been really been an obstacle. Working with UL, everyone's scratching their heads, and that the requirements of certification never contemplated immersion cooling. This is just something that no one ever thought of. So what we're actually doing to move ahead, we are actually having to drain our batteries of the immersion cooling and light them on fire the old-fashioned way to get them to burn, to be able to pass it, to do the test. Mm-hmm. And it's really taken away everything that makes us different just to be able to meet the certifications, but that's how it is.
So the cells, you can think of, they come in different sizes, but for all intents and purposes, you have a AA battery sized cell that's getting packed into modules. It's at this module level, I think, that this immersion technology is happening. Is that right?
The NMC, those look like the Duracell type batteries that are round. Those get packed together, and in the module, we fill the whole module and cover the battery cells and the electronics with the dielectric fluid.
And this fluid is tried and true. It's a fluid that's used in other aspects of electrical infrastructure, right?
Absolutely. Immersion cooling is not new. It's been around 100 plus years in the industry. I mean, obviously the data center industry has really embraced it for their technology. And so we have just taken that and applied it now to battery cells. For what we have, we've been deployed in Taiwan and Japan for now almost 2 years. And the systems are running absolutely superb, incredible thermal characteristics, and just looking to get this going in the U.S.
When you say data centers have embraced it, how are they embracing immersion cooling?
Immersion cooling for the computer technology, it just, heat load is one of the major factors in data centers, especially for energy consumption. So trying to manage that heat and dissipate it is a huge challenge for them.
So a server can be immersed in this fluid?
The components can be immersed, correct.
Oh, wow. That's fascinating. I had no idea. It's also used in transformers, though, right?
It has been used for transformers for an extremely long time. And obviously, the industry has moved on to where the oils that have been using now are obviously a lot more environmentally friendly and all those great things, too.
Liquid cooling of battery systems is not unheard of, but I think this is a little different than what others are doing. Is that right?
It is right. Liquid cooling is more about having cooling plates touching the side of the battery cell and running a coolant through that plate and having a heat transfer there. Immersion cooling, on the other hand, is actually submerging the entire battery cell and wrapping the liquid all around the battery cell on all sides to do that heat transfer and that cooling. So it's really a dramatic difference.
Okay, so what is the go-to-market? What do developers and asset owners need to know about Etica AG? What is it that you are selling?
We're selling non-flammability. We're using tried and true proven LFP technology and NMC technology. It's very bankable there. And we're doing applications where fire safety is a huge concern. Obviously fire safety is always a concern, but locations and around cities, urban environments, next to buildings and such, the whole fire safety component just goes to that next level.
And but what are the products that, if I'm a developer and I'm doing C&I or utility scale, what is it that I can order from Etica?
So right now we have a utility scale product, 20-foot long container, and we do 3.06 megawatt hours, which is actually going up to 3.8 megawatt hours very soon. We can do those 2 hour, 4 hour, and actually we do 1 hour also. And then on the C&I side, we have a smaller version, our power cabinet, and that's 340 kilowatt hours, and both can be AC or DC solutions.
Oh, very cool. The Clean Power Hour is brought to you by CPS America, maker of North America's #1 three-phase string inverter, with over 10 gigawatts shipped in the U.S. The CPS product lineup includes string inverters ranging from 25 kW to 350 kW. Their flagship inverter, the CPS 350 kW, is designed to work with solar plants ranging from 2 megawatts to 2 gigawatts. CPS is the world's most bankable inverter brand and is America's #1 choice for solar plants, now offering solutions for commercial, utility, ESS, and balance of system requirements. Go to chintpowersystems.com or call 855-584-7168 to find out more. And where do you paint us a picture for the storage market in the U.S.? Where is the puck going? With here in 2025, we've got the BBB attacking solar and wind, but extending the ITC on batteries. So batteries are becoming more important. And, I just posted yesterday on LinkedIn that there's a 40% increase of storage in the queue in Texas, in ERCOT. It's a huge pulse of battery storage coming online in Texas. And we have good incentives in states like New York, Massachusetts. I think Connecticut's in the game now, Illinois, California. The list is growing of the states that have state incentives. These are also becoming more influential. So if you're a state authority listening to this, yes, lean in and let's push back on the BBB. But what is going on in storage, and why is Etica considering building a factory in the U.S.?
For battery storage, the story right now is grid stability. The demands that are happening on the grid infrastructure between the data centers, EV charging, and just our entire lives as being more linked to electrical needs. The grid is just not able to move as quick as that demand moves. So where batteries bring is that we can put those in, and it can help make the grid be able to meet our requirements and such. We've been tracking quite a bit the large battery storage projects, but we also see just a huge need for more localized installations of batteries, close to the substations, close to the heavy power users, just to be able to control the grid a little bit more, make it a little bit more even keeled, and just to avoid any type of disruptions.
Yeah, batteries they have a value stack that is quite unique and much more multi-layered than just solar or just wind. And my friends at Intelligent Generation have coined a phrase, earn, save, protect. You can earn money with grid services like frequency regulation. You can save money by attacking demand charges or capacity charges. And then you can protect by preventing power outages with things like microgrids, right? The battery can help you island from the grid if there's a grid outage. When you think about that earn, save, protect landscape, where is the puck going and where is the opportunity?
Oh, that's a great question. Like I said, see very large projects will always be there just because there's some just huge power users at these data centers. But as far as on where people start understanding just the value stack and these different revenue line items that can come in, now on the industrial side and the commercial side, it makes financial sense. Especially when you're a business and or you're a manufacturer, and you're having power disruptions that happen frequently, and they may be very short disruptions, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, long enough to too quick for your backup generators to come on if you have those. But also long enough to just completely disrupt your operations. That's a perfect application for battery storage on the C&I level. And
is one element of the market more interesting to Etica? When you think C&I, that 150 to a couple of megawatt, 150 kWh to several megawatt hours versus, hundreds of megawatt hours. Is it 50-50? Are both very interesting, or is one a more interesting market or a bigger market?
I mean, I would say that we do cross all those markets. Obviously, those large installations where the cost drivers are really making the whole project work and such. That one right there, they're looking for the least expensive product, and that would not be AG. So we are more targeting for ones that need the non-flammability, want that quality product that can go next to buildings, next to schools, such like that, and also into areas where there's been pushback from local residents on battery storage projects. We can go into theirs and show our technology that your concerns have been addressed, and this is the technology that should be used.
So let's talk about the storage industry and FEOC, for example, foreign entities of concern. This is a thing that China is on the foreign entities of concern. You mentioned Etica is Taiwanese. Is FEOC even a factor for your operation?
Obviously, it's a factor for everyone's operation that uses LFP battery cells. So we've been obviously aggressively looking for alternate suppliers and looking and just really going through our entire supply chain. There are a number of groups that are coming online shortly in the U.S., and there's also other manufacturers that are standing up in non-Chinese locations. But really, China is the main producer of these LFP battery cells.
Yeah, I think over 70% of battery cell manufacturing is in China. Is Taiwan not a major producer of battery cells?
Taiwan makes a lot of different things. Battery cells is not their largest item. LFPs, they don't make.
Yeah. So where can you alternatively source battery cells if not from China?
Japan, South Korea, are definitely possibilities. Mm-hmm. And then obviously there are some folks that are opening up or have just recently opened in the U.S. that we're beginning discussions with also. And I think it's the same with everyone else in the industry too.
Yeah. Yeah, I had American Battery Factory on the show, I guess in 2024. Have you heard about them or?
Absolutely.
Are they getting close to production? Do you know?
I did not. I talked to them not too long ago. They're getting much closer. So I think that's going to be something we'll revisit again in 2026.
Okay. Yeah. I think they're building a factory in Tucson, right? Somewhere in Arizona.
I believe so. Yeah.
I know that you're a believer in this immersion technology. That's fundamental. I guess the question begs, why isn't everybody using immersion technology? There's a cost differential, it sounds like. How great is that? Is that a barrier to entry? There's one gorilla in the room, really, in the U.S. Storage market, and that's Tesla. And they have, they make some of their own cells, but they also partner with manufacturers like Panasonic and LG, Japanese, Korean companies. Talk to us about this playing field. How competitive is Etica?
Of course, with our patented solution, it is just a superior solution to air-cooled or liquid-cooled. And everyone that looks at our technology, the engineers and the scientists at the labs that review it, it's just something that we all know that battery technology is going to be heading this direction. And I expect everyone to adopt immersion cooling in the next several years. The big groups like Tesla and such, they have a product that they've refined over the years. And for a large company like that, it's difficult to get off that direction and to incorporate dramatically different new technologies like immersion cooling. So that's someone there. They are a great market leader. They really have blazed a trail for all of us, and we hope to learn from what they've done.
Well, what else should our listeners know? It's fascinating to see all the different subtle differences of battery technology that are coming into the market. They are subtle differences. LFP is still the big dog in the room, really, when it comes to stationary storage. It is noteworthy that Redwood Energy, the battery recycler, is taking used EV batteries and turning them into stationary storage. That's primarily NMC in the US. LFP is also used in EVs. But I'm so curious to know, how, okay, fire safety, it's important, right? But is it game changing enough to catapult you above the Teslas of the world? And I guess supply chain is front and center for developers. Like, how soon, if I order a 5 megawatt hour or 10 megawatt hour battery from Etica, can I get product? And can I do that with complete confidence that I'm not going to run into FIAC problems?
No, that's all great to ask. I mean, as far as on Tesla and such like that, the market is huge and there is plenty of room and some great technologies out there. What's different about immersion cooling is that we stop that thermal event at the cell. So the battery cell, for whatever reason, it overheats, goes into thermal runaway, flames. We stop it right there, and so we don't go to flame. The energy that's being released gets absorbed by our fluid, and that particular module now is encapsulated and it's stopped right there. So everyone else's solution typically goes to where you lose the whole module. One battery cell goes, all the cells go, and then you lose the whole container. So that's the difference. We take a problem that's small and we keep it small at that time. Going into the applications, like I said, the big projects, putting them out in the middle of open space area is one thing, but putting these projects close to where the load is around, urban environments, that's a whole different ballgame there. And that's where I think that definitely Etica AG and our immersion cooling technology will excel. Places where typically batteries have not been able to go before. One of the big initiatives that we're doing is that we'll be going in for New York City Fire Department approval for looking to do batteries, not only next to buildings, but on top of the roofs and then also inside. With our technology, we're very confident we're going to get that certification done. That's a complete game changer. Now you're talking about bringing battery storage technology right to the major cities, right where that energy is being used at the point instead of somewhere else at the end of the distribution line.
So you come from the microgrid space, which of course is batteries and other generators, into the manufacturing space. Tell us a little bit about why you made that jump yourself.
Well, for microgrids, I had founded a company called Soul Microgrid. Started it up from scratch and turned it into a Morgan Stanley portfolio-owned company. We had brought on several national clients to do on-site microgrid systems for these national retail chains. It was a wild ride, very exhilarating, and at the same time, completely exhausting. So after we got the company stood up and it was past the startup stage and such, it was a good time to exit. And so I went ahead and did that. The company got moved up to New York City, and I had to decompress. So really look to see what I wanted to do next and what would my next adventure would be. Came across Etica AG actually at a conference and started to look at the technology. And one of the major problems that I had identified was for battery storage technology and how that works with risk assessment, putting these things on customer locations, putting battery storage around where there's going to be people walking around and such. And it was, it's difficult. With their immersion cooling technology, I saw a solution to a problem that I think is a real issue for all microgrid developments.
Yeah, I don't doubt that many AHJs, these are cities, counties, fire districts, fire departments, are really drinking from a fire hose, no pun intended. They're struggling to stay on top of what are the best practices, what is working, what's not, what do they need to be concerned about. And so if you can just kind of level set and give them a look, this is completely fire safe, I think that is going to be a win. And if you can get your project permitted quicker, easier, cheaper, that is going to be a win. There's the technology itself and the cost of that's important. And I don't know if you have anything to say about the relative cost of a liquid-cooled battery container versus an immersion-cooled battery container. But then there's the other costs. The development costs are non-trivial, development and permitting. And I do think that fire safety is front and center. Check out our episode with FireTrace that recently dropped. That's also very interesting. More at the container level is their technology. So fire safety is a topic that is near and dear to my heart. Matt, what else should our listeners know about you and Etica?
Absolutely. One thing that we do offer is to developers to get the message across as to the local AHJs on how the immersion cooling technology will handle the non-flammability. That's something that we will partner up. We will send people out to help the developer to go directly talk to AHJs. That type of support, I think, is critical in getting our message across and to bring our technology to market.
Hey guys, are you a residential solar installer doing light commercial but wanting to scale into large C&I solar? I'm Tim Montague. I've developed over 150 megawatts of commercial solar, and I've solved the problem that you're having. You don't know what tools and technologies you need in order to successfully close 100 kW to megawatt scale projects. I've developed a commercial solar accelerator to help installers exactly like you. Just go to cleanpowerhour.com, click on strategy, and book a call today. It's totally free with no obligation. Thanks for being a listener. I really appreciate you listening to the pod. And I'm Tim Montague. Let's grow solar and storage. Go to Clean Power Hour and click strategy today. Thanks so much. Excellent. Well, check out all of our content at cleanpowerhour.com. It's available on all audio platforms and on YouTube. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, reach out to me on LinkedIn, or go to cleanpowerhour.com. You can book a strategy call with me. I help EPCs grow into large C&I solar and storage. So I would love to talk to you if you're developing solar and storage projects. And with that, how can our listeners find you, Matt?
Sure. Just go to our website, www.eticaag.com, and just reach out and we will get right back to you.
Excellent. Well, I'm Tim Montague. Let's grow solar and storage. Thank you so much, Matt Ward with Etica AG.
Great. Thanks, Tim.
The Clean Power Hour is brought to you by CPS America, maker of North America's #1 three-phase string inverter, with over 10 gigawatts shipped in the U.S. The CPS product lineup includes string inverters ranging from 25 kW to 350 kW. Their flagship inverter, the CPS 350 kW, is designed to work with solar plants ranging from 2 megawatts to 2 gigawatts. CPS is the world's most bankable inverter brand and is America's #1 choice for solar plants, now offering solutions for commercial, utility, ESS, and balance of system requirements. Go to chintpowersystems.com or call 855-584-7168 to find out more.